5 seconds left. And he shoots. He scores! I can't believe it. This is a moment for the history books.
Secure the dub you've been craving with big, bold flavors from Firehouse Subs. Like our iconic Hook and Ladder Sub with smoked turkey breast, Virginia honey ham, and Monterey Jack. Order now and score $2 off any sub purchase in the Firehouse Subs app when you enter promo code HOOPS. Limited time offer only on the Firehouse Subs app. Tap the banner now to download the Firehouse Subs app.
The tournament is where Cinderella stories begin and big wins happen on the biggest stage. With Gambit DC, you could make your Cinderella story a reality. Take advantage of new player bonuses online and in-app, or play in person for boosted parlays. You can bet on all 63 games, even if your bracket's busted, and play from the edge of your seat with exciting in-game bets. Make your bets now with Gambit DC. Terms and conditions apply. Please play responsibly.
Hey guys, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has the tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcast, and more. And trust me guys, it works. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. And the best of all, it is totally free. Yes, totally free. So download the Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Hi guys, how's everyone doing today? If the camera sucks right now, I am using the MacBook camera. I was gonna use my iPhone, but I don't have like a tall enough stand to set it up on for it to at least get a good angle. So gotta use this MacBook camera. And so I do have another special guest today. His name's Caleb Ross. Used to work with him at the elementary for summer school. So yeah, that's how I know him. And I mean, I know his family too. So he should be coming on anytime soon. If you do hear noise in the back, I am so sorry. It's the dishwasher being pretty fucking loud. So again, I do apologize. So he should be coming up. But I guess, I mean, at the time, oh, alrighty, he's coming in. Oh, there he is. There's the man. Hold on, hold on, quiet. Says you're muted.
Haha, there we go.
There it is. There it is.
How's this angle gonna work? Fuck, that's way too low.
Don't worry, I'm using the MacBook. I was gonna use the iPhone, but this is my little stand, so it'd be way the fuck down here, and I don't think that angle would be lovely. I gotta at least have it up here, but
It'll be all right.
yeah. And if you do hear noise in the back, it's my dishwasher.
Ooh, I think my dog's in the house messing around with stuff, so there'll be some noise.
I should be fine. Should be fine. You look like a whole adult now.
Don't say that shit. Just because it's true doesn't mean I need to admit it.
Well, even when I first fucking met you, you already seemed older.
Yeah, it was the beard grew in at 16. That's all.
I mean, I guess. I see you repping FedEx, though. How's that been?
Oh, it's lovely. It pays for everything. This is actually, like I was telling you that when we were trying to set up a time, this is my garage. I closed on a house. FedEx has done that.
In Scotts Bluff, or?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm a private contractor. I'm employed through a contractor who's signed with FedEx. So but I still make fucking without overtime. I think there's an email. I think after taxes, I make right around 44,000 a year.
Jesus.
That's kind of nice. Beats Walmart.
Yeah. I mean, they here in, I don't know back home, but I know here in like eastern Nebraska, they raised it to 16. Raised 16 an hour for basically almost any of the starting positions, and then I believe Cap 2, OGP, and I believe automotive are 18 an hour.
Fuck. That beats
And
back there.
and I mean, and then I know like team leads, they got a boost. Starting team lead pays 21 an hour, and yeah, they really raise it up. But the bad thing is by giving us 16 an hour, the bonuses that we would get, we don't get anymore. They removed the bonus. So team leads and above get bonuses, but regular associates don't.
That's fucking stupid.
That's what I said. I'm like, the fuck's. And also for the 401k, they used to do a dollar for dollar match. Now they don't. Now it's up to 6%.
Fuck, the dollar for dollar was the thing that made it worth it.
I know. I'm like, put 50, $100. I'm getting double every single paycheck.
Yeah, that's a fucking wonderful thing to have.
Yeah, it's by the time you leave the company for either better opportunity, you get that check in the mail. You got a check that can last you some good time for some shit. I mean,
Yeah.
or just roll it over and just build it up.
Yeah, fuck it. You can never have too much of a, what do they call it? Like sock money, rainy day fund.
Yeah. I mean, Target, they still do the dollar for dollar because technically I'm still employed at Target. Technically. But I'm technically not.
Technically, it's good enough.
Basically. Well, reason being was, I mean, let's just say the Walmart here in Lincoln, the one that we both transferred to, yeah, it wasn't really good because I had beef with the store manager and HR. So yeah, it didn't go well. So I kind of just stopped showing up, got fired, and then worked at Walgreens and AKA Target during the time being. And uh, and once the 6 month period was up, I'm like, I'll just reapply because I mean, it's not that I didn't like Walgreens or Target. I just when it came depending, I guess depending on the manager, uh, when it came to like having to cut my hours a little and whatnot. To me, Walmart always seemed to be the one that was more flexible. And plus, I mean, you clock in on your phone and do a bunch of other stuff now. So, I mean, having those benefits can be handy sometimes.
Yeah. I didn't even know Walmart started that clocking in on your phone and stuff. That must have happened. Because I think I left during COVID. I think the only thing I ever did was did the COVID self-assessment.
Oh,
That
God.
lovely thing.
I hated that when we'd have to go through the doors and be forced to do it.
Yeah, it was fucking bullshit.
I hated that shit. 'Cause I know
But
Destiny and I already forgot his name. Uh,
Destin?
Destin. There we go. I think they're still there.
Destin isn't.
Oh, he isn't?
No, I think it was either 2 weeks or a month after I left. He put in for a transfer, and he's on the East Coast now. I don't remember exactly where, but he's like, I want to say Virginia or somewhere kind of close to the East Coast.
What in the fuck?
And Destiny, I couldn't tell you. She might still be there. She might not.
I think. I don't know. I think she's in a relationship with Mercedes, but I think Mercedes changed her name, so I'm still gonna call her Mercedes.
I don't know. I just see the stuff on Facebook. I'm so out of touch with everything.
I know it's weird because ever since I graduated, fuck, I don't even talk to anyone that I graduated with, or really that I knew.
That's the
Um,
same thing. I think since graduation, the only person that I've talked to recently was Kyler. And that was just because he sent me a message a couple weeks ago just to say hey. But
I
outside of
haven't even
that,
talked to
Rome's
him.
doing his own thing. I don't even talk to Jaden. Fucking. I don't even know. I don't even know what Sanaka's doing, Josh. I've fucking I haven't talked to him since he left Minotera.
Yeah,
that I can
I
remember at least.
think the recent photo that I've seen of him, I think he probably works for the state, like the Game and Parks or whatever you call it.
Oh, like tours or something.
I think for like I think so. I think the monument or some shit. I don't know.
Oh,
Um,
good for
but
him.
like with my class, I don't talk to anyone. God knows what happened to Daniel. Last I knew, he moved to Wyoming. That's the
Oh,
last thing I have heard of him.
well, hopefully it got better for him. He wasn't going to amount to much here.
I
Sounds really
mean,
fucked up to say it out loud, but
well, I mean, last that I heard, which I already knew, but I guess he went to prison like a couple times for for some shit. I don't know.
that's
Ivan,
part
I
of the
guess,
course.
is in Montana. He's
Ivan?
yeah, he's kind of. I get. I'm kind of like sad for him in a way. As you can just say, I mean, not been living the best um, since graduation, and so he kind of just moved to Montana to just kind of live with friends and whatnot. And I don't know if that's the right choice, but I mean, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. I mean, if that works for him, then works for him. Um,
Yeah. Moving around's never a bad idea. I
yeah.
mean, shit, you're in Lincoln.
And this is even permanent. This is just a kind of, I mean, A, because I mean my girlfriend goes to Southeast, and B, I'm like I didn't want to stay in the Panhandle anymore. I needed to move,
Oh, I
and
know what you mean.
yeah, and so because we're thinking is Colorado would be a good state to live in, um, but mainly because of the scenery. I mean, it's the mountains. You
Oh,
got all that shit.
it's
I mean,
beautiful.
yeah, like when we went there to visit her cousin, and plus, I mean, visit her cousin slash she went to a concert. I was just driving by and I'm like, God damn, it's nice here. Like, even though it's not summertime, it's still nice here. Like, holy shit.
If you could land a spot, so I think it's probably been a couple months ago at this point. Me, Jarek, and then one of our buddies in Oregon actually flew down and we took a vacation, like just a weekend in Estes. And as much as I love it here, I'd sell everything I own and go live in Estes if it
Yeah,
wasn't
like,
so fucking expensive. It's so beautiful.
yeah, I was like, God damn, like, I know, I think it was closer to fall, like starting of fall, and when I think it was fall or summer. I don't even fucking remember. That was when we again went to go visit her cousin, and we went to Buffalo Wild Wings in Fort Collins, and just driving through Fort Collins, just a bunch of trees, the scenery. I'm like, God damn, this is nice. Like,
Oh,
holy shit.
and it's just so beautiful and like I could do without like because I remember we drove through Fort Collins and Loveland to get to I think it's Highway 34, whatever the main highway that takes you out of pretty much your suburban area into the mountains.
Hmm.
Oh, it's just so beautiful. I can't stand the fucking traffic. It puts me on edge and I get so irritated so fast because I can't stand people that don't know how to drive.
Oh my god.
But even just like one of the lessly dense, like densely packed suburbs, I think it'd be perfect.
Yeah, and that's what I told my girlfriend because she wants to go to Colorado Springs because she wants to be a like a CPS, like in that type of field, and she wants to go to Colorado Springs because higher crime rate, with the kids and whatnot. But I told her I'm like, when we visited Colorado Springs, I didn't like it because it seemed too dirty. Like just even from afar and in it to me, it just seemed too dirty for my liking. And plus, if she said it's a high crime rate, I'm like, oh, why would we move to a town with a high crime rate? Like, I don't know if I would like that. And I told her, I'm like, and depending on the kids, I mean, some might be. I'm not hating on the kids. I'm like, some might be a little bit, I mean, too rowdy to the point where your life could be at risk if you have to visit homes.
Yeah,
That,
there's definitely craziness out there.
and so I told her, I'm like, I want close to the mountains, like at least be in the Denver area, but close to the mountains, but not, but still not so close to the mountains, but also not close uh, to the city. Kind of like almost in the middle area, because if the view, I can still see the city, but I'm not getting any of that city traffic, any of the city lights. It's kind of out and about, but then to my left, I still get the mountains. I'm like, I mean, that'd be perfect for me. I mean, we're not too in the city, but we're not so far out that we have to drive God's hours to reach anything.
You're not driving 2 hours for lunch, kind
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah. And so, you know, will it be expensive? Yeah. Um, but for what I want to do, uh, I just gotta push it to afford it because I want to get my real estate license. Well, not want to. I'm studying to get my real estate license. Do that, learn real estate by being an agent, all that fun stuff. Plus, I mean, the podcast,
Of
take them
course.
both serious, build them up, and just when I can, when we can, just fucking head over there. Do business in Colorado and Nebraska if I can operate in both.
Yeah, well, and the nice thing is that once you have your license in Colorado, you probably could. I mean, if it's just in general, just because of the area, it's higher priced homes, you could make more
Yeah,
just
and
based off of that alone.
yeah, and because then also what I want to do, if I can have like once I learn real estate, invest in real estate and probably still be in the whole realtor business, if I can create a team, so then I can have a brokerage here, have them operate it here, live in Colorado, and still build a team over there, and right there, I mean, not only is that in a way kind of passive income, but
Hmm.
B, I mean, just growing more and you know old small town Nebraskan boy just building a real estate empire with a podcast.
I mean, it's a hell of a start.
And yeah,
You
and
not
that's
much. Oh, what?
kind of one of my goals is from with the podcasting point, kind of in a way be the voice of Nebraska. So when people when I keep building it and people know, oh, this podcast came out of Nebraska. Like you hear California, New York, Texas, Florida, like big like states that are gonna be known for something. It's like you don't get anything from Nebraska. So if you get a podcast from Nebraska, I mean that'd already be a great achievement for me. Be like, shit, people now recognize me because of the podcast. And plus, with real estate, I can get connections there because if they might say, "Oh yeah, I've heard this podcast." I'm like, "Oh, that's perfect. We can either if you're a client, I can help you because you of the podcast, you heard it. I can attract you that way or
Mhm.
get more people. Just kind of build it up. I mean,
And you get a nice network rolling. At the end of the day, if you got a solid network, it'll always just be proactive toward the company or whatever you're building.
yeah,
If your plans to build a couple brokerages or whatever the term is, and if you had people that just listen to the podcast with a business email, and yeah, it's its own guerrilla marketing campaign.
yeah, and because then also I don't want to be that guy where, I mean, yeah, I'll be making all this money, make some great money, but then also just big goals that I want to do is like retire my parents, make them not work till they can't work anymore, just let them retire, so then all their bills can finally be paid, and all the fun stuff, and then um, I don't know how much YouTube you watch, but this guy, his name's Steve will do it. I watched a video of his where he basically went to a small Walmart and just paid for everyone's shit, and he just did it that way. And I'm like, if once I get that money, how cool that'd be to just give back. And since Scottsbluff Walmart working there, kind of know how it is. Um, kind of just come back and talk with. I don't even think Doug's still the store manager.
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. Just kind of head there, talk to the store manager, set up everything, and just, just say, hey, go have some fun. I'm fucking paying for everyone's shit.
This whole next hour of people, I got it. Don't worry about it.
Until I get a call from the bank, your account's overdrawn. Fuck. Sorry, guys.
You last.
I can't do it.
Nah.
Or just the card declines on the first transaction. Like, yeah, sorry about that.
It's the thought.
Kind of needed money for gas, so I don't got anything now.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
how fun will that be?
That'd be a good time. I mean, it'd be what you'd expect. It is the Scottsbluff Walmart.
Yeah. Because then also, again, for part of the real estate investing, I mean, obviously get stuff, just invest in shit here in Nebraska and Colorado, basically anywhere I want to do it. But one of my big ones is to hopefully one day buy the mall in Scottsbluff, buy the Monument Mall and the Kmart, combine both of them together, so then the Kmart could be just another big store, whether it be like a Kohl's or a Best Buy or some. I don't know about Best Buy, but maybe like a Kohl's or like a Ross, just something there, and then or maybe kind of put that as like either like a food court. I mean, I still want to add a food court there and add stuff that you have to travel to Cheyenne for. Get a Panda Express, get a Chipotle, get a Chick-fil-A, because I've been thinking about this for the mall and Kmart being right there, not only close to the Scottsbluff High School, to the middle school, and the college. What else are you gonna want? You got everyone that's gonna want it there.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, people from Gearing can come, people from out of town come. Like, fuck. I mean, what else do you want right there? Then people will start bringing business into the mall, because that mall's dead. There's nothing there
There's
other than Applebee's and the movie theaters. That's kind of the only two keeping it up.
Yeah, like I say, because the only other two outside of that, there's that nail salon that's been there for God knows how long.
Mm-hmm.
Like Bath and Body Works and the Buckle.
Yeah.
Pretty much it.
I'm surprised that Buckle is still up.
I figure they get enough business just because their clothing is one of the higher end. Like you're paying $90 for jeans.
I guess.
But
yeah.
I also don't know the business breakdown on commission and all that shit. So
Yeah.
it could be closer than I think.
I guess so, yeah. And kind of just do that, just bring more business in, because I mean that'd be a great profit margin. And invest into that, buy the mall, and living there in that area for years upon years. It's like, and also building a community with the podcast and everything. It's like I can add having a large enough following. I could then ask, what would you guys like to see in this mall? Because if I can get people from that area to tell me what they want in the mall, then I know, okay, this is what I should add. And because
sorry.
Oh no, you're good. You can continue.
I was gonna say, and then that way, if you've got input from the community, you don't have to worry about putting something in that might fail.
Which is like every new store that they've added.
Memories.
Route 21 I don't even think it lasted a year. Or maybe a year, maybe
year,
2
year
years.
and a
I
half.
don't even know.
Something like that. It wasn't very long.
Yeah, which is surprising for it being, again, near a college, near the high school. But I mean, so I was surprised Subway left. I was a bit sad Subway left the mall. I was like, oh, like after the movies or before the movies, eat a big enough meal that I don't have to buy a snack and a drink, because I'm not spending $10 on Reese's.
Yeah, I never thought of that. But
Yeah. And I mean, and plus that still get business to the movie theater, getting a food court. I mean, I guess kind of. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Um, maybe because then when people are done watching the movie, they could then
Yeah,
go eat,
pick
go
up some
shop.
food.
Yeah, and then they're good. And then another one would be getting a small Sam's Club behind Walmart, but the only problem is it's based, I believe, just like Best Buy, it is based on population
Oh,
because when you look at the nearest Sam's Club in the state of Nebraska, not like Colorado or Wyoming, in the state of Nebraska, the nearest Sam's Club is Grand Island.
shit. Yeah,
And
we're
so
a
it
little
goes Grand
far off.
Island and then Lincoln and Omaha. So it's like Grand Island, I believe, has a population of like 60 or 80, maybe 90,000. So it's like definitely population based.
It's only at most 5 times bigger.
Yeah. So it's like that's why I said a small one, or maybe just get someone else there and still have a warehouse type. What like that whether I mean it's not going to be Costco or Sam's Club, but still have someone similar, still membership based, still gas based. So then right there, people that love to shop in bulk, people that come from out of town, from Torrington, whatever, they can buy in bulk and leave. And right there, you're putting more business, more money in the economy there, and competition for Maverick. Because if you can get cheaper gas, Maverick's gonna cry.
Oh yeah, poor Maverick.
Yeah.
Well, we
That's
got
just been
two of
kind of
those.
my things. I mean, that's for there, and maybe whatever the hell happens in Colorado that I can find, or here in Lincoln.
Yeah. Well, worst case scenario, if everything takes off, you could just start your own bulk buy business called
Yeah.
Marco's Market.
I mean, hey, fuck it, yeah. Or like with the whole podcast, do like a Broke Boy Warehouse or some shit.
Ooh, that almost sounds bougie.
Yeah, and not like the ROK. Do how I have it, ROQU.
Ooh,
'Cause,
that's almost
okay,
French.
Broke Boy, but I mean, it's not a bad idea, but because living in that community, there's not shit there.
No.
Walmart and a Target. That's all. Maybe a Safeway. That is all. And a
Yeah.
YMCA.
Fuck, I haven't been in the Y since I was like 12.
Yeah, like here, there's 4 YMCA's, I think 4 or 5 YMCA's, and I don't mind the Y here, especially the one that's down south. That one's actually kind of nice. Um, but like I told the people at Genesis, I'm like, it's too family much. It's too much of a family gym. So on the weekends, if you want to go, there's gonna be a lot of kids there, and you're like, I don't want to be in a gym with a lot of kids. If you want to shoot around, it's all kids and teenagers. You want to go lift weights, a lot of high school teenagers are just being obnoxious, then
Mm-hmm.
and then if you want to go swimming, it's a lot of old people. So you're like, what the fuck do I do now?
Yeah, that's definitely dealing with more people. I mean, that's probably a population thing too.
Yeah.
It's just trying. I had a thought. I just lost it.
Damn, this guy.
I'm
But when
old.
did you start working at FedEx again?
August 2 years ago. I'm on year 3.
Year 3?
Yep, I'm 2 months into year 3. This will be my fourth peak, fourth Christmas season.
And how does that go? Like how does the holiday seasons go for FedEx?
So usually, what ends up happening, so they've got with the way routes are split. There's so like I'm route number 114. I'm assigned a certain area that I cover, so I do north of Alliance, all the stuff from County Road 60 east up into Hay Springs. I do Hay Springs town. I do the rurals on the way up, all the way from Alliance. Then I do the stuff north of Hay Springs, pretty much to the county line, and then I head west along Highway 20, do all the stuff to Shadron, and do the rurals. I mean, if you call them rurals, outside of Shadron to the east and the north, and then I do Highway 385 south out of town from the country club all the way down to Hemingford.
Holy hell!
That's the miles. Like my average mile count is 350. That's the bad part. And even that, but like today, I got to work at 6. I think I dispatched and was out of the terminal on the highway headed to Alliance at 6:45. I did my entire day with all my stops doing that exact loop, and I was back by 2, maybe 2:30.
You probably have to haul ass though. You're probably
No.
timed. You're not timed at all?
No, that's well, ground technically we aren't timed. So with FedEx Ground, since we're subcontracted through FedEx, we have a very like limited amount of requirements we have to meet. So like I think all we have to meet contract standards is a 99.6% delivery rate. So pretty much everything, but it's also not just my route, it's all 26 of us. We've got 26 routes that we run. We do the Panhandle. We've got guys that go over into Torrington out to LaGrange, shit like that. But we only have to do that. No 27s, which is a do not attempt. And outside of that, it's if you can get it all done, fucking get it all done. If not, make it work.
I mean, hey, fuck it. I mean, damn, that's a lot of mileage. Do they pay by mileage or no?
I get paid. So I'm a W-2 employee. So my boss is the one that holds all the contracts.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe I think they get a fuel kickback. So whenever they sign the contracts, there's a set rate that they'll give us, however many dollars per gallon.
Mm-hmm.
I think right now we get paid 65 cents a mile. 65 cents a mile, and then $2.50 for every package delivered.
Oh, that ain't bad.
No. The only killer is vehicle maintenance. So it just comes with, like, when you have a whole fleet of vehicles, like, we've got stuff. What's our, we'll go with the worst truck. I think I'm actually driving that one right now. So we have the highest mile vehicle we have is a 2006 Ford cargo van with 425,000 miles on it.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So like, I mean, it's the biggest thing to combat with working a route that's all rolls like mine, which is what most of what our routes are, is just you got to make sure you have a solid truck. Like DOT compliant pre-trip inspections are a major thing. Like every morning before I dispatch, I check all my tires, I check all my fluids, I crawl underneath the truck and make sure I don't like have something like we had a truck. Actually, I was driving that one. We had a truck that had a fouled wheel bearing seized, but no one bothered to inspect it. And it was on one of the days where I had broken down and they had brought me that truck. Well, because no one did the pre-trip inspection, I was cruising down the highway on 71 and the fucking wheel fell off. One of the duals fell apart.
Oh.
Yeah, you want to talk about pucker factor. Driving I think those are 12-ton empty, 24,000 pounds.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and have a dual fall off and you're sitting there two-wheeling because it's dropped one corner. It'll scare you.
Just like out of nowhere, you're just driving and boom.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, you notice the horizon picks up. Instinctively you mash the brakes, but at that point you're just kind of sitting there waiting for a ride. That was my latest day at FedEx. I didn't get home until it was 11 o'clock by the time I walked in my front door.
Oh my God. And then you had to wake up the next day at 6 to go at 6. God damn.
It was like, that was when I lived out on Carter Canyon, so I was up at 4:30 the next morning.
Yeah, no. No,
But,
I'd fucking hate that.
But the way that you got to look at it is the way they weigh. So I have an hourly rate on paper,
Mm-hmm.
which is how the reason I'm a W-2 employee, but I get paid by the day. So if I go to work, I get paid for it. I get a check I think I get paid every Friday. I'm guaranteed 40 hours a week. So like, let's say like if I had a heavy day where I don't get back at 5, but the rest of the week I'm back at 1:30 or 2,
Mm-hmm.
I'll get paid for 40 even if I work 30. And then even for overtime, if I work 6 days instead of 5, I get time and a half. I think it's 5 hours on top of my normal rate. So I get overtime, and even if I'm still under, at that point it'd be 50 because I also get paid. No, it'd be 8 hours, yeah. So yeah, even if I worked what would be the equivalent of 48 and I'm only doing 40 hours, I mean that's 8 hours overtime.
Jesus, huh?
But when the holidays hit, like that was part of that meeting that I was at today. So we have no scheduled days off. We work 6 days a week. We have Sundays off, and that's it. It's if it happened, if this year goes like last year, then it won't be that bad. But at worst, like the worst one that we had probably a couple of years ago, I think I didn't leave Scotts Bluff until 10, which is super late. Normally we're on the road by 7, maybe 7:30. We
God.
didn't leave town till 10, and I think it was 2 hours after sunset because it was the sunset at 4 and it was like 6, and it got to the point where I didn't know where the hell I was going, and it was so fucking dark because again maintenance on those trucks is superb. You got headlights that aren't adjusted right, so you can't see shit. And I was just like, fuck this, I'm going home. But it's 1 month out of the year. It's first day after Thanksgiving to the 26th. And after that, it's all back to normal.
Damn. Do you guys at least get like Walmart at least like Thanksgiving or Christmas off?
Yeah, we do. We get
For
Thanksgiving and Christmas.
like, cause technically, if you guys are going by, I guess, federal holidays,
Yeah,
technically, I
we
mean, it had to.
yeah we'll get Thanksgiving off. We get Christmas off. I even think we get New Year's off. I don't remember exactly. But yeah,
Damn, luckies.
any federal holiday. I mean, shit, we're off on Easter.
Fucking luckies.
It is nice. It beats
You
Walmart.
know, yeah, you know how it is in retail. I mean, luckily, Thanksgiving and Christmas were off. I mean, because they're closed.
Yeah.
But like New Year's, no, New Year's we're operating, Easter we're operating. The only two days that they are officially closed is Thanksgiving and Christmas. So,
Man, it always sucks.
well, I mean, as a real estate agent, it's not gonna be one of those where, close on. I mean, yeah, on Thanksgiving, I'm not gonna fucking bug people. It's like, bro, it's Thanksgiving, you're gonna pig out. Go ahead, because I'm pigging out too. Or same thing on Christmas. It's like it's Christmas, you're with your family. So I'm not gonna be that annoying ass dude that's bothering you on Christmas. Like you're with your fucking family. But um, but with that, it's gonna be different because it's not just let me just do 4 days, and because I could work on my own hours. I gotta bust my ass to get that get that commission, and I feel like at least since I've worked retail since 16 years old, um, that I'm those people that likes to believe in things happen for a reason. So I feel like me working in retail and having a lot of like customer experience and just that type of interaction with people, that hopefully when I have to go from retail to, in a way, sales, I know how to talk to people. I know how to hear people. 'Cause I'm not gonna be that dick ass of a retail worker and just just make you feel like shit. You know, like I know not to be like that. So I'm hoping transitioning to that. I know if when people need help buying a house, selling the house, it's like, hey, I can help you because I'm gonna want to create a relationship with you rather than just do it for the commission for that check. Because I mean, if I get out of this house, if help you sell this house and I get a $8,000 commission check. Fun day for me. I mean, it's a nice check for me, but I don't want you guys seeing me like that because then you might spread the word of, oh, he only did it for the money, and then my reputation can go down. And so I gotta keep that good of a relationship, but still do good. You know what I mean?
No, and the nice thing is, if as a realtor, if you build up a good enough reputation, I mean, like what I did here, I mean, the realtor that I went through for my house is the same one that my mom went through for her house.
Yeah.
If you can build that, I mean, if you looked at it even just strictly from a money perspective, being a good, having that relationship, building that good sales repertoire
Mm-hmm.
it'll be in the long run, you make more out of it anyway.
Yeah, because instead of finding people, they are now finding you. Then you don't have to be spending so much time having to do all the boring, fun stuff you have to do to get people. Now it's like, oh, hey, I just got another call. I already basically got a new client that needs help, or this person's sister needs help buying a house, or they want to move to this place. I can help them, and I mean, yeah, just kind of do it that way, and kind of just, you know, for for the goals that I want to do, it's just kind of one of those things. Because my ever since I've been young, my biggest goal is just, I guess you can say, just try to be a millionaire. Um, and now it's like everyone, but not only that, but I've always told my parents, even young, how I want to retire them and have this nice house and whatever. It's just like almost a lot of people's dreams. And before, I was always just that person of, oh, go to college and then I can just do it that way, whatever. But as you know, as life kicked me in the face and time went on, I just kept looking at stuff differently. And then I decided to read a book that a lot of successful people, not only that I've seen on YouTube, but also local, Omaha and Lincoln area. And it was a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds corny. It is pretty corny when you read it. It honestly is, because it'll say rich dad said this and poor dad said this, and you might be like, oh, okay, this is corny as shit. But the more you read on, you realize, you know what? I can see why these people are where they're at, because it just gives you a different perspective. And so, because one of them, a being financial education. If you have good financial education, you can make it there. If you have poor financial education, you're gonna screw yourself over. But then it was just a lot of the things of, instead of asking yourself that you want it, ask yourself, and you don't have it, ask yourself, how can I get it? How and why? What's the purpose on why I want to get it, and how should I get it? And that's what I kept telling myself. Like, okay, if I want to be a millionaire by the age of 30, how am I gonna get there? People might say that's impossible, and say, if it's, just a lot of doubters. It's like, okay, how am I gonna get there? I can't just get there working through Walmart. I mean, it's gonna take a very long time if I ever want to. So it's like, how do I do it? Oh, just out of nowhere. I never looked up real estate ever in my life on YouTube. Bam, this guy named Graham Stephan pops up, and then I got hooked with real estate. Podcast, I thought they were boring as shit. Out of nowhere, bam, Impulsive of Logan Paul's came on, because it was about Jeffree Star. And I'm like, oh, I know he moved from California to Wyoming. I think Casper. I'm like, it'd be interesting, since I don't know Wyoming, but I'm like, moving from California to a state like Wyoming and actually live there, not have a second home, like that's their primary residency.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just learn and hear about why and other shit. And then I got hooked. And then my girlfriend said, you talk a lot. You don't like to shut the fuck up sometimes. And I'm like, hey, now that I've been listening to podcasts, maybe that's a great way for me to have one, because they started getting interesting. I'm like, I should start one while still listening to one, so then I can just, keep hearing people, keep getting other knowledge, and kind of keep motivating me. Because if I just don't listen to a podcast ever again and try to do a podcast, I might get bored, or I might just get discouraged and say, no one wants to be on there. So Maybe I'll try. I'll try next time. And because I've been getting denied a lot, denied or just not even looked at a lot. Like to the point where I'm like, do you guys know me? Why are you guys just straight up not even looking at your messages, or just completely leaving me on red, or just saying nah, I don't feel like it. It's like it's just taking an hour to like an hour or two of your day. What else are you doing? Because I know damn well on Instagram, 'cause I don't use Snapchat anymore. I only have an account for the podcast,
Mhm.
but I don't use Snapchat anymore because I never saw use with it. I never texted anyone, so it just to me it was just there, and I'm like I don't use it anymore, and I don't want to just delete the app. I want to just completely get rid of my account. I don't use it anymore,
Right.
and so I got rid of it, and man, so I just have one for the podcast, and I have some people that I know there, but again, I'm not. Yeah, I'll post about it. I'll download Snapchat, post about the new episode, and then just delete it. So I'm like I'm not gonna be on it, so I don't want it on my phone. And so I mean I still use Instagram, Facebook, uh, TikTok, and even on Facebook. Like I've asked like Brandon, I asked Brandon, and this guy just said, "You have a podcast?" I'm like, I share that shit every single time. I invited you to the page. The fuck you mean? Do I have a podcast? I'm like, obviously you're not paying attention.
No, Brandon.
And he denied me too. I mean, I'm not like trying to say, oh, he's a dick for doing it. I mean, I know people get busy,
Mm.
but he denied last minute, and so I was able to get at him last minute.
I remember
I
listening to that.
I just quickly sent Adam a message. He responded fast, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm down for it." I'm like, "Oh fuck yes," because I needed someone for Sunday. I'm like, "Fuck yes," and I got Adam, and then the next one was Ulema. She was down for it too. I'm like, "Oh, perfect. I got someone else, and that I know." And unfortunately, this Sunday, I just had to bullshit it and kind of just say something interesting, like one of
About your
my
root canal?
about one of my tooth actually fucking falling off. Like I was eating Subway and just eating. 'Cause I already had my root canal for the two teeth that I had to get it. This one is still strong. And I was just eating the sandwich, and then out of nowhere, I just felt something very crunchy when I bit. And at first, I was in my head, I'm like, maybe it could have just been a vegetable there or something there that was just a little bit too crunchy. But then at the same time, I'm like, I don't know, that was little bit too crunchy. And then I used my tongue and I just felt a hole. I'm like, oh no.
Fuck.
And it was the same tooth. I did the root canal as well.
Oh,
I'm like, oh no. And then those just a piece came out. And then as I kept chewing, more of that tooth kept coming out, and it to the point it just I came back home and I just wiggled it with my tongue just to get it out, and I have it right here.
oh shit.
I don't with the camera quality. I don't really think you'd be able to
Oh, I can see
see
it.
it, but yeah.
Ooh.
And so now I just have a hole here. It's weird. I still have half of that tooth left.
Mhm.
And my girlfriend, she's like, "Did it hurt?" I'm like, "No," because I mean, when they have to do the root canal, they're basically just cutting the nerve. Like you don't have feeling on that tooth anymore.
Yeah.
So if you break it, it's not gonna hurt.
Yeah, it's just whatever they make it out of, ceramic or whatever.
Yeah. So it's like I can't feel anything there. That's what a root canal is because it's basically an infected nerve. So they're gonna have to just drill through it and cut it completely and put in fake ones. And I wanted to go to the dentist and just tell him, yo, I mean, I have half a tooth. So what the fuck you want me to do? I mean, just completely remove it. Um, but again, for it already being completely dead, he's already done the root canal. At the same time, I kind of just want to leave it and let it just fall on its own and then just get dentures for it. But they could be expensive, so I don't really know what to do. I want to go in and just tell him like, what do you want me to do? But more than likely he'll probably just say, just we're gonna have to remove the other half.
Yeah.
But mm, and that's fun. Got that tooth part gone. Um,
Teeth aren't that necessary.
exactly.
You can soup and bread it for a while, be all right.
Yeah. Fuck it. But because this one, when I got the pain on one of the tooth over here,
Mhm.
oh, I hated when he did the root canal because this one wasn't too bad. I could handle the pain. When it came to this one, the when it came to this tooth, that fucking sucked. I cried. I was closing my mouth from the pain, and he told me, "You got to keep your mouth open because I have to see." I'm
Mhm.
like, "I'm sorry. There's tears coming down. What do you want me to do?" I'm crying. It hurt. Like it actually genuinely hurt.
I mean, root canals definitely aren't pleasant.
But there a better way the to get. I mean, so I can eat because it was for it being one of your main chewers.
Ooh.
It's gonna be hard to forget about it because if you want to eat, you're gonna be hitting it every single time, and it's gonna hurt like a bitch.
Yeah, kind of try mashing it with your tongue. I know after I got braces, that was what I ended up having to do. Just sit there and
Mm,
mash it against the top of my mouth until I could swallow it.
yeah, it's yeah, no, I can't do that.
It's not
I
that
can't
bad.
I can't do that. Uh, I'm surprised you didn't get a mechanic job though for how good you knew about cars.
Eh. I went to college for it, but around the Panhandle, what I found out is, well, like what I was getting paid at Walmart,
Hmm.
working in the automotive department, I was making better money there without having to buy my own tools and everything than what you get paid as an entry level shop tech at most places in town. And
What?
even, yeah, it's just in the Panhandle. It's kind of the rural areas. Most of your mechanic jobs, they value experience more so over than a degree or certificate or anything.
Hmm.
So, and then you pile that on top of you have to supply your own tools. So, like, even with, because the college had a Snap on rep. So, even
Hmm.
with the student discount, an entry level set of tools was $10,000
Holy hell!
for Snap on stuff. Granted, Snap on is supposed to be the pinnacle, whatever you dictate that to be. Everything I
Holy
use
shit!
now for my hobbyist work is fucking Harbor Freight Pittsburgh stuff, and I've rebuilt a couple motors off of that. So,
I mean, fuck it, Harbor Freight all the way, right?
yeah,
Uh,
I mean,
but
that's what
shit,
that whole
damn.
fucking assortment of shit is back there.
Hey,
Yeah,
but
this
damn, yeah, no, that's kind of a little bit
beautiful
too
silver
much.
shit box.
Oh, hey,
Hobbyist of stuff that needs a motor.
don't worry, I'm still going strong with my little Nissan Altima.
I think still kicking.
Well, I crashed it. I rear-ended someone. Again, I will take full blame. Part of it wasn't my fault because there was two cars in front of me. The very first car, was making a left turn, but it was like on those one lane roads. So he's making a left turn, and there was traffic, or however you want to call it, two lanes, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But
Gotcha.
there was traffic, and then obviously we're stopped. But I was still coming. I was still coming from a ways. They were already stopped, and oh shit,
Oh,
my girlfriend's my girlfriend's trying to FaceTime me right now. Uh,
oh shit.
no, no, you're good. I'll have to just text her really quick. There we go. We're good there. Um,
Fine.
uh, but he had enough time. because I was slowing down because I thought he was gonna go. He had enough time to make that left turn, but the front car did not go. And so, I already past the light, so I'm like, well, shit, I gotta slam hard because I thought he was gonna make the turn, and I just didn't react in time, and so I tried stopping, I tried swerving. I was lucky enough to swerve enough to where, yes, my car got towed, and yes, I did get radiator. I think it was radiator. Like it did break,
Mm.
so he got some of that fluid leaking, which I mean isn't good for the engine. But the Ultima survived. I was able to still turn on the car just fine to get it off the road,
Mm-hmm.
and um, that the rest is history. My dad fixed it up, and it's still kicking. It's still surviving.
Those Nissans
Doesn't
will last.
overheat. Doesn't struggle to start. It's still kicking.
Those Nissans will last forever.
And for it being an '08, I'm like, God, this thing is strong.
You get those mid 2010, like 2000, 2010 era cars. Like I had my first Subaru. Actually, that doesn't fall under it. It was a 2000 Impreza RS, the 238,000 miles on, and that thing ran like a top.
Jesus.
And then I sold that. I all throughout high school, everyone wants fast and nice cars, right?
Yeah.
I did that in college. Worst fucking idea ever. Never again. I bought a.
If,
It was,
what was because of the high maintenance, or
no, they get you in trouble. It was a 2006 Subaru STI. And
I think I remember that.
yeah, that white
I think
car.
I remember. Yeah, I think I
Yeah,
remember that Subaru.
yeah, that Subaru. Yeah, 450 wheel horse thing was a monster. I can't tell you how much. It was even. I think I got pulled over doing the speed limit in that car. Just to get a warning, like it was just the warning of like, all right, just so you know, we all know who you are, and we're watching you.
What the fuck?
That's good old Scottsbluff PD for you. They're bored.
Yeah, true. I mean, I remember Talon saying how he got pulled over for going. I think he said like a mile or two over the limit.
Hmm.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, my last, not this one, but the other Subaru I had that I sold recently. Fucking, I got pulled over for doing two over and got a fucking ticket for it by a sheriff for no reason.
What the fuck?
I was going to work. It was 6:05 in the morning on Highland Road by Napa. I got pulled over doing 47 and a 45.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yep.
I'm gonna go the bathroom really quick, so I will be right back though. Um, but what the fuck? It's Scott Bluff over here. I go 55 and a 40, and
Yeah.
in front of sheriffs, they don't give a shit here.
Oh, yeah. It was just the car. Like I've got my mom's Trailblazer right now just because it runs well.
Mm-hmm.
Like I do shit like that all the time and no one bats an eye.
Exactly. I will be right back. I know you can't hear me.
That's fine, Marco. What you doing in there?
Okay, I'm back.
All right.
I'm backy back. But that's Scott's bluff for you. They don't know. Oh, I mean, just the Panhandle Police. I mean, they they're quick when it comes to traffic stops, but everything else they're slow as shit.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
what's been going on with the Panhandle though? Like every time I open up Facebook, a drug arrest, a DUI, some fucking stabbing, some shooting, a car chase. The fuck's going on over there?
I couldn't tell you because I had the same thought. My one thing that I was always thought of it was maybe the crime has always maybe there's always been crazy like that shit going on,
Mm-hmm.
and we've just never noticed it because we were in high school. It wasn't something we paid attention to, and now we notice it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's legitimate. Like I don't know, like if we live in a GTA 5 role play server or some shit now or what, because it's just gone to shit.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I just see all that. I'm like, what's with all these people? A big one that I've been seeing is like meth arrest, like meth charges. I'm like, what the?
Oh,
I'm like, what the hell's going on with that town?
well, I don't know on the whole meth part, but I know just that in general's been on the rise. Because even on my route for FedEx, I mean, I've ran into people strung out on meth in Hay Springs and Shadman. I don't
God.
know if it's an economics thing or if it's just the general trend of everything is everything that happens on the coast just gradually works its way inland. And if it was just one of those things that it's been a long enough time, it's made its way here.
Yeah, I mean, for all those charges, or all those people getting caught, like, God, like I know for big town it's like different, but not even here. We don't maybe possibly there's probably meth arrests every day or so, but it's not when I open up Facebook and that's the first thing I see. The first thing I see, boom, arrest, boom, assault, boom, sexual assault, boom, this, boom, that. What? I think it was 2 3 years. The one that surprised me the hardest was Ephraim's. I was like, holy shit! Like in a way,
I had a hunch.
in a way, I could see it, but it was one of those things of, damn.
I don't want to talk down on anybody. I try to be
Yeah.
nice, but I always had a hunch that he would be one to get into some kind of trouble. I wouldn't tell you what it was, but I had a feeling it'd be something.
I was just one of those of, damn,
For
shit.
your first crime, you chose that. Fucking
Yeah,
for it.
if he was gonna get arrested, I'm maybe on marijuana or something, but damn,
something like a misdemeanor, something
Yeah.
small, not what he got.
Yeah, I was like, oh, and what's worse, it's a small town. Everyone knows, especially for a big name, a big name like him.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone knows because I know when the post got shared, the amount of shares, the amount of comments that were on it from just women upon women, oh my god, you're you, how can you recover from that?
Does he? I don't even think he still lives here, does he?
Yeah, he works at Essential Fuels.
Well, shit, I haven't seen him. Well, there's two of them now, so I don't know. I only ever stop at one.
Yeah, I mean, I I don't go there.
I mean that would make sense. Be weird if you came here to get gas during the week.
Yeah, just come see him, and and it'd be awkward to even get him on, to even text him. Could be like, this feels. I see it different now. I know, like I said, I know how he was in high school. I already, I could see it, but it was just one of those things of, now that the truth is out, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how much I really want to associate with you anymore.
Mm-hmm. I know what you mean.
Yeah,
It's when you have a hunch something's going on, but there's no proof, you can kind of justify it. It's one of those things you can weigh it out in your head. But I mean, there's been a court case about it, and it's all been decided. There's no going back.
Yeah,
He's kind of locked in that.
the best thing he could do is leave the Panhandle and start a new life somewhere, or probably the whole state of Nebraska, and just start a new life somewhere. Because if he sticks there, I mean, people now probably don't even look at him the same. I mean,
Yeah, you'd
he
have to
was,
recognize him.
yeah, I mean, he was a football star. He was the athlete. He was a star athlete. So when you're a star athlete, because that's how it is over in the Panhandle. People are recognized mainly because of the athleticism.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, if you could be starting a nail business like the other 500 women that do it, some people they already know you because of you, but
Mm-hmm.
some people may not even know about your business. But when it comes to sports, people are gonna know your name.
Oh yeah.
And so when you have a big name like that, you do something stupid, people are gonna see that, and people will see that.
Oh yeah. Well, and I don't remember. I didn't follow it too closely because mainly I just saw it and was like, "Wow, okay." I mean, saw it coming. But did he? What was the charge? Does he have to like be on a list?
That I actually do not know because
I don't remember what they charged him with because I think if it's the felony version of the crime, he's on the list.
maybe I do not know.
Ooh, excuse me.
Because I believe last I remember was I know he went to jail for I think a couple months, but then he got out. 'Cause I don't know if either he just had that great of a lawyer or something. Uh,
See?
for what I know, I mean that's the last thing I heard was him getting out, and he's been out ever since. So I don't know if he has to be on a list. Um,
I just feel like that'd be awkward as shit. Have
yeah,
to go door to door and tell people that you're a sex offender.
yeah, I'd be if someone came up and told me, I'd be like, I don't even know if I want to associate with you anymore. Like, because I was thinking of getting him on the podcast and kind of just not fully talk about what happened, because I mean I don't want to be that guy and say, so what happened? Like, what'd you do?
Give me the
Like,
D, bro.
I don't want to be that guy, but just kind of, just bring awareness and just, maybe talk to him about just stuff in that area. Uh, kind of just like about sexual assault and a bunch of other shit. But at the same time, like I said, I don't really want to associate with him because, again, it'd be awkward.
Yeah.
And two, I mean, on one of the posts, I did say he needs to get Chris Hansen on his or some shit like that. And so I'm like, I don't. If he saw it, I don't know if that'd be even smart to get it, because he'd know, like, hey, I remember your dumbass like commenting this. Like, that was me.
Damn
Yes,
straight.
that was my ass. Um, I mean, would it probably get some listens? Probably. I mean, people would say, "Oh, he had the balls to come talk to this kid." But it'd also be one of those things where I wouldn't want people to be like, "Oh, so you talked to him?"
Yeah.
But I don't think they, I don't really know if they'd see it like that. I think people would say, "Oh, you were able to talk to him."
Well, I think that would I think would make for an interesting podcast because even though there's probably like everything was a public trial and everything, because that's usually how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it'd give him a chance to defend his side, or at least to
Mm-hmm.
kind of explain from his perspective how everything went down. Maybe it's like how all most court cases involving that kind of a crime are, that he's instead of innocent until proven guilty, guilty until proven innocent. Maybe it was construed heavily one way in the news and the media and all that. We don't even know what his side of the story is.
You know how the media is, especially. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
like smaller media. I mean, can be mixed, but when it comes to, like, the big corporate media, they're very, very, very left. Very, very hardcore Democratic. Like, people getting canceled left and right, and they might say one thing, but then when you listen to them speak or you go deeper into why, and then you look and realize that offended you guys to to cancel him? Like, really?
Good old
Man,
cancel culture.
that's
It's partially
that's
why I stay off
always
the
fun.
internet.
Like, I when again with the podcast, when I listened to the Nelk Boys, they did one with Trump, and um, the funny thing, Spotify and Apple Podcasts, they kept it. YouTube, they removed it
Mm.
for the reason being of it was talking about election frauds, and so because of that, they removed the whole video. I'm like,
Fake news, misinformation spreading.
what the fuck? Like, and I was just recently listening to another one, with like his name's Nico,
Mm-hmm.
and he's been kind of like the same thing of, wake up people, like all this other shit, and he got his channels completely just destroyed. Like they completely removed him, and I'm like, damn, all this shit that that happened. Oh, hi, baby. What are those flowers for?
Ooh.
Want to play a game of guess what Trinity bought for how much?
She has this game where she'll buy stuff from Walmart just cause.
Okay.
Here, I can try to reverse the camera. I guess you can say hi.
Hi.
So I know I can try to. Oh, damn it! I can't change the
Why
camera.
can't you just show them like this?
Well, I guess.
Ooh.
For the table.
For the people who are only listening to audio, it like those fake flowers.
There's a little bit.
To my
Shit.
to my 4 listeners. Like,
That's how much.
well, how much?
Yes.
I'm gonna call it 25.
He says 25. I'll say 5.
$4.99. So yeah, 5.
$4.99.
Next time.
Eh, it happens. It happens.
It was originally 25.
Oh, you got the 25 right. It was originally 25. So shit, we were both right in a way.
Mm-hmm. Shit.
You good? Jesus. All your clearance stickers. But, I mean, the more we talk about it, now I'm kind of like, that'd be a good one to get him. That'd be good to get him, but again, I mean, I don't know how much he'd want to speak.
Yeah. It would definitely be a rough topic.
Mhm.
Come here, Bug. I just realized my girlfriend left the house, so I have to keep an eye on the dog. Come here, Bug. But I don't know. It would be an idea, and I think you could work it from a decent angle. If you went from with the idea of not like I'm here to like air out your dirty laundry, tell me all the stuff that you did, but even just from the perspective of like, so this is what the public saw. What of it was false, or where would you like to? What's the term? Like elaborate more on what was something that you thought was crucial that was glazed over, or something that was blown out of proportion that really didn't matter.
Or like, I'd love to listen to your side. Like, there's like, I'm gonna be very unbiased. I'll have my opinions. I just want to hear your side if you are comfortable speaking about it. If you're not, I don't want to, I don't want to, you know, bring any of that up. I don't want to bring any past trauma. Like, if you truly don't want to talk about it, like if you want to speak your side, I'll listen, but I'm not. And if you don't want to, I'll respect that and say, we can still talk about other stuff.
It can still be on the podcast. It doesn't have to be about all that.
Yeah. And I mean, like I said, I mean, that could possibly get some listens. Could people say, oh, like he's speaking? But again, like I said, for the 4 listeners, I mean,
I mean,
2 of them are me. two of them are me. Sometimes two of them are me because I'll listen to it before I upload it, and they count that as a listen.
Oh,
Because I want to because I listen to it just to make sure everything went through. Like not the whole thing, but I'll just skip and see. Okay, does it sound choppy? Does it sound weird? If it doesn't, then I do it. And then another one, I'll just go to Apple Podcasts and do it again, and just listen to it through that way and check how does it sound. And so technically, those two plays are me. But most of the time, the ones that have the guests get the more listens.
yeah. I mean, I every once in a while I listen. I usually let them build up because I know some of your is it the Sunday ones that are your solos? Or is it
Thursdays.
Sunday? Oh yeah. So I know sometimes those can be short, but like I listen to them on my drives at work.
Hmm.
That
And
45 minutes from here in Alliance, I mean, I pick a podcast and let it go.
I was surprised. I'm like, wow, Caleb is listens to it.
I am desperate for anything to break the silence of the highway.
Oh, yeah, I could see. Yeah, driving on the highway. Hell, driving home, the 6 hour drive. Even then, you're like, man, like just your songs on repeat. You're like, I don't want to keep
Yeah.
listening to those repeat.
I think I've got a rolling rotation of about 8 podcasts that I listen to.
Shit, and I'm one of them.
hmm
And I mean, man, that's my honor. I mean, it's appreciate that a lot because okay, and like I said, it's weird because the ones that have a guest, I get more listens on, and I always wonder, okay, like Zulema's, I think it got like 10 plays. I'm like, who are those 10 people? Because they don't return back when it's me. So it's like, who are I'm always curious, who are they? Because my first guest was Adriana, and I had like maybe 20-ish plays overall before she came on. After she came on, boom, I got like close to 50. I was I was like, holy shit! And from when I did that till now, I'm close to 350 plays. So I mean, it's been a journey from seeing hers and oh now I got 50 plays, so now I can get monetized. Now the podcast can make something. To now I look and I'm like I'm at 350 plays. Like holy hell, like that took a big turn.
hmm
Because one of my goals is to get at least try to hit 500 plays by the end of the year. And I don't know how fast I'll be able to get that. I was doing the math, and if I stayed consistent, I think it was uh 8 listens per episode I could. But I mean, if the guest ones, let's say, get 15, but then my Thursday ones get like 4 or 5,
hmm
that can be like the adjustment. So I'm like, I want to just see how far I can go and see on how close I can get to that 500.
book. Well, 500 is a good number. I think you can do it. And like you were saying with your guests, I know what a lot of it probably is given that your guest pool is closer to people that you know,
Hmm.
it's probably a matter of word of mouth.
Hmm.
Like, hey, people tell their friends, hey, I'm on this podcast, you should go listen to it.
Hmm.
But even then, if there's like, I don't know how to articulate my words.
No, you're
if
good.
there's, if it would be one of those things, if it has enough pop, or maybe it comes down to release time, maybe there's more traffic on because you usually post it on Instagram, right?
Instagram and Facebook.
Maybe there's more traffic through your page at 2 o'clock versus 10 or noon versus 4. It could just be a matter of that.
True, true. I mean, I because it shows up all those analytics on Facebook, on like Facebook Business, and I mean, I when posting it, I try to do 10 a.m. here, 9 a.m. back home, because
Mm-hmm.
before I used to just put it at like I think like 4 or 5 in the morning here, and then I realized it's a little bit too early. I mean, the post could probably already be lost in their feed, so I'm like maybe stick it to like 10, and then I've been thinking of pushing it closer to like noon, but I'm like I'm not trying to adjust it, but I gave myself a set schedule though of Sundays guests, Thursdays myself, and even then, I'm still thinking if I want to keep Thursdays and just do Sundays. And because then listening to other podcasts, what? Because the consistency is key. Because if you keep posting, keep doing it, you grow it, and if you don't, just because I kind of think of it of like the gym. And if you want to get your results, you have to keep going. Got to be consistent.
Oh yeah, you got to work the hell out of it.
Yeah, and if you don't, then you're not going to see any results. And myself, just like this, I got to keep doing it consistently. Stop mimicking me. Yeah, she's over here mimicking me right now.
That's all right. That happens.
Yeah, it does.
I'm watching this fucker. Bug.
You got yourself a damn wolf. Holy shit.
Yeah, and I'm actually down one. This is so. It definitely was on Facebook. I had it on Instagram. It was Thursday last week. I actually had to get one of them put down.
Ooh,
Her
I'm
hips
sorry to
got
hear that.
super bad. But, I mean, she's not in pain now. I've done my crying. God, that was a rough week. But this is her boy. We had the whole family. And he looks menacing. He's a chicken shit. He's scared of rabbits. Hi.
It's just a big teddy bear.
Oh, massive. Thank you, baby. Sorry, I have a drink delivery.
Oh no, you're good. Is she basically telling you when the hell are you getting off of this podcast?
No.
Oh, okay. She's being nice.
Yeah.
His girlfriend?
Yeah.
All right, love you, baby.
What's it like having a nice girl?
I do have a nice girlfriend. If you want, you can step in frame. That's if you want.
Sure enough.
But no, she's sicker than shit. I think she's got a cold or something. It's starting to come back around, so that's why I'm out here. I was gonna do it in the living room, but she was napping, so I was like, I'll just do it in the garage. I got a chair out there.
I mean, hey, at least you weren't those ones that were screaming COVID.
Yeah, fucking ridiculousness.
I am
Surprised that's
tired
still
of that now.
relevant.
Lincoln,
have to
it's
deal
still
with it?
kind of Lincoln. It's still kind of relevant. I mean, you'll still see the papers all over the doors of, hey, just keep your 6 feet and whatever. But I'm done with it. I'm tired. People say COVID masks. I'm like, just shut the fuck up. I'm done with it. I still see people walk in with masks. I'm like, what are you doing? It's over. Stop milking it.
Well, and I know it wasn't even because what was it at its worst? It's still, even at its worst, it was a 99.3 or 97.7% survival rate.
Mm-hmm.
The only real mortalities was people that had underlying conditions,
Mm-hmm.
which, I mean, I guess, fuck, I didn't even want to get all weirdly political because I guess COVID's political at this point too.
I know it's scary. You can't. Sometimes you can't even speak about that because then people will look at you different. Like, oh, you're talking bad about it. I'm like, no, I'm giving my opinion.
I mean, I don't. People can hate me. I don't care. I've come to peace with that.
Because you already said you don't even talk to anyone that you really know. So
No, I think all I've got, well, even just in general, like, I think, what was it? The car alarm? No, we're good. We've got a couple people at the terminal, like package handlers, that are super left. So, like, I was talking with my coworker, Ethan, about, because I've got a few guns. I've got some target rifles and stuff. They're awesome guns, and I love them. And just the fact that we were talking about it, they got so offended that they literally like they didn't walk out of work, but I think they went and talked to the terminal manager. Like, just the mention of it, like, it's an inanimate object. I get gun violence is a thing, I guess, but statistically speaking, you're fucking more likely to get killed with a hammer than you are to be shot. And if it's a perfectly sane person. So it's like it's not like I walked into work toting it around, threatening to kill people. It's a target rifle.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
we were talking about it in the sense of long range shooting. Like it's not even like you'd have to reach so far to make it bad.
I mean, I know there's this thing on American Dad where the episode was about like the whole gun violence thing, and he said something that's true. He said, "Guns don't kill people; people kill people.
Mm-hmm.
Guns are just a weapon that are used to kill people."
Yeah, it's
And
a tool.
just like how this is like explosives, just like cars, just like anything. If you're gonna kill someone, you're gonna find a way to kill them. If you can't get access to any gun, you use a vehicle. You use your brutal hands.
Yeah, I mean, shit, you could buy a kitchen knife from Walmart for $5.
Yeah, I mean, kind of decently sharp one.
Dull will still work. It's all about the point.
Yeah, true. Point in the force. I mean, if you can force it through someone's throat, you can force it through someone's throat. You're lucky that the Panhandle is pretty Republican. Here, Lancaster County, aka like Lincoln. I think Douglas County is like Omaha and everything, and like Gretna and that. They're very Democratic, so we get a lot of pronouns.
Ooh,
You can connect it.
the good old pronoun game.
You got the pronoun people. You got I don't think it's gonna be long enough to reach it. But so you got the pronoun people. You got what else do we have here? All the very heavy masked COVID people, vaccine people, like very heavy on all of that. Just oh, very very sensitive people. Hell, I got when I was working at Walgreens, I got pulled into the office because of harassment because you know, for how I talk with my girlfriend, sometimes we'll just say the N word, but not the hard R, just the slang, and it's not like trying to be offensive. Like just like in a funny way, I'll be like, oh shit, like like shut the fuck up, and
Oh
or
yeah,
some shit like that.
yeah,
Not even
it's
trying
healthy
to,
banter.
yeah, not trying to offend anyone or anything. And it may have just came out of my mouth wrong at Walgreens, and a lot of the workers there, very very democratic. Someone took offense to it. I got pulled in for that, and he said, if I get told about that again, I will have to terminate you. I'm like, again,
On the spot, right there.
it may just came out of my mouth. Like it like I took responsibility. I told them I apologized, but I still said, who got offended by it? Mind you, everyone that worked there is white as hell.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, so who got offended?
Someone that identifies as black. That's who.
Probably. Nowadays, you can identify whatever color you want. You can identify whatever the hell you want. Like so, at work, I will see kids 16, 17, and I'm afraid to say him or anything because the way they're dressed, the way they look, you just know
Oh yeah.
they're gonna get offended.
I mean, I'm very insensitive, I guess you could say. Like you are a better man than I. I wouldn't make it a week. I'd get lynched. Like my girlfriend was telling me about I guess if you want to be technical, a girl she works with, 'cause she identifies as a girl. And the first thing I said after she said that, I said, "Yeah, I bet he's a pretty cool dude. What's his name?"
Ooh.
I did it to be funny. Apparently, it's insensitive. Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
I do also prescribe to the ideology of everything's funny or nothing's funny. So
it just depends on everyone's humor, because some people, you saying that, people would have gotten so offended, and others be like, "That's funny because it's true." And that's the thing. Like, same with me. Like, when it comes to, uh, like Hispanic shit, like beaners and whatever, like the stereotypes that are hard with it. Um, days of Tuesdays. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that China Garden's closed. The buffet one's still open. Uh, but like I was saying, uh, I kind of already forgot. It just went out of my head. Oh, but the whole stereotypes for like Hispanics, I'm like, I I honestly don't get offended, because I'm like, it's funny because it's true. Like not trying to be rude. It's funny because it's true. And but
it's all
welcome to
crazy.
America. Like, in this newer upcoming election for the 2024, do you think a Republican is going to get back in office?
Do I think? I haven't even looked at the current candidates. I sure fucking hope so.
I have a strong feeling yes, because I know Yahoo, they posted on Instagram like way long ago. I think in Biden's like second year. Well, I guess technically it's the second
This year?
but technically it's second. Um, he said that his approval rating went from, I think it was like in the 50s or 60% to, I think, close to a 30 or below a 30%. And I'm like, I like I could see it now. I mean,
If I
for
remember
everything
right,
that happened.
I think if I remember right, I think Biden's like the president that has the lowest approval rating in like the nation's history. I think. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure.
Something like that, but I saw on how low it was. I'm like, wow. That tells you a lot of people were hoping for a lot and realized this skeleton, this old ass guy, is almost dead himself. Couldn't do it, so
Oh, Sleepy Joe.
now we gotta just wait for a Republican, because again, like I'll be honest, like I voted Democrat, but only reason why I did, because when I kept seeing so much Trump this, Trump that thrown on me, it was to the point I just got annoyed. I'm like, I don't want to keep seeing this, so let me vote Democratic. And then what?
Let me say something to that.
She's very
Ooh,
Republican.
ooh.
He's a Democrat, that's why.
Not even. Not she won't. Here's the thing. She goes to Southeast again. Lincoln being very Democratic. She told me how much of a Democrat I am. She's starting to pick up some of the Democrat habits, though.
What's a democratic habit then?
What was your recent one that about the whole uh Democratic habit that you were doing? Because I know I called her out on it not too long ago too. Well, I forgot what was the Target parking lot, like? What was it about?
I don't remember.
You do, you just don't want to say. She's starting to pick up some of that, so she always tells me how hard I am. It's like, and I look at her, I'm like, you're starting to get those habits. You're starting to learn their ways. You've been in Southeast too much now.
You guys need to hurry up, pack it up, and get home. Shit.
But now that I'm seeing everything, and when I heard that podcast of Trump, I was like, this motherfucker's smart as hell. Like when you listen to it, you're like, damn, he predicted everything that was gonna happen, and because he's smart as hell, I'm like, you know what? If he runs for 2024, which I think they said he is, probably might vote for him. If he is. If not, then I'll say I don't know who these other people are.
Well, I know. No matter at this point, the Democratic Party doesn't even hide half the shit they're doing. Like they're all just at this point they take as much as they can and they don't even bother to hide it or anything. They know that the Republican Party being what we are, we've always just been like, all right, we'll just give them a little bit. We'll just kind of be tolerant. We'll let them do their thing, and eventually they'll back off. And it hasn't happened. And I think we need to start being proactive about it. But
I mean,
it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, for any of, I guess, interactions with that type of area, like, like, when you went to Colorado, did you see stuff that you kind of wanted to speak on, but you couldn't?
No, I saw a lot of Trump 2020 flags, actually.
What?
Yeah, toward Estes, they're way more Republican. It's when if you look at like a map from any state of how they break down voting, where the majority of your Democratic votes is in your high population areas, so like Lincoln or Omaha, and all your smaller rural areas like Scottsbluff, Hay Springs, like all the shit back here toward the Panhandle, it's all Republican votes. And it's a funny thing to look at. Whereas like when you take into account Estes Park in Colorado, Estes would fall under something like Hay Springs. It's a vacation town in the mountains. There's maybe, I don't even remember, I think there might be 8,000 year-round like live-in residents. It's all blue. But then you go into Loveland where people are fucking 4 deep in one house stacked 4 high, they all vote red. I think I got my colors mixed up. They all vote Democrat. There we go.
Yeah. I would say I'm like, you kind of flipped them, but
I did, but my point still stands. It's definitely, I think it's a population thing. And it's
true.
just by nature. I mean, it makes more sense. What you would value in a small town in the middle of nowhere. But what you'd value in a small town somewhere doesn't necessarily apply when you get into a massive city. Like, shit just doesn't line up the same.
True. That's why all the other counties in Nebraska vote red, and then the 2 biggest counties in Nebraska vote blue. For that same reason. Because kind of was the dilemma. I brought it up because before, no, I think when Trump was still in office, either when he was still in office or running, I don't know if you were, no, you graduated way before. I think you guys are 2 years before me.
Yeah.
I know she was blasting like the "Fuck Donald Trump" song, and it was all over the school. Like it was all over the classes. Ellis hated it because you know how big Red he was. He hated when anything of like that was brought up. Hell, him and Zulema would argue, like argue about it. And
I'm still here. I just gotta go to my phone charger.
Oh no, you're good. And then I brought it up to her on her episode, and she's like, honestly, as I grew up, I started realizing that Trump was kind of right.
Just kind of.
And I'm like, don't be blasting that song, because I would get a little bit annoyed. I'm like, okay, we're going a little bit too far on the whole "fuck Donald Trump" type of train.
It was definitely, I think it was trendy more so at one point than it would have been actually usable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was more of the thing that people did at that time. It was just what you did. It was like any kind of TikTok trend now, or like when flossing was a thing. It's one of those things that picks up traction, and you just kind of people ride the wave and roll with it until it falls off and wait for the next big thing to come through.
Basically, I mean, and as we grow older, we see what we adults start doing, and we realize, once you start looking, you're like, you know what, maybe maybe my generation can do good or bad, just like any generation. But my generation's very blue, so let's see how let's see if once a Republican gets back in that office, how my generation takes that.
Hopefully, I hope it happens. That way we can get back on an up and up. Fucking interest rates are dog shit right now. Like I think no, this would be relevant to you because with your real estate thing, like what I got on this house,
Mm-hmm.
I think my interest rate is it's a 6.375 for 30 years fixed. I got 30 years fixed. I got damn near 7% for an interest rate.
Here in Lincoln, I think interest rates are 7.35 or 7.7 because I think they raised it. I think they might have raised it by like 4 points or some shit like that. I know. I think here it's already in the 7%. I'm like, holy shit,
Well, and that
that's a
makes sense
hefty one.
because the day after I signed the contract for this place, like for the actual process, my realtor had told me that if I would have waited to sign a day late, I would have had a 7% interest rate.
Oh, so you did it before?
Yeah, literally, if I would have waited a day, I would have had it even worse.
7.37.
Yeah, 7.37. Yeah. But luckily, you can always refinance. She probably told you that. You
That's
can
the
always
plan.
Yep, you can always refinance. And because a lot of the meetings that I go to for Nebraska Realty, and just a lot of the videos that I see and whatnot, because people will say I want to wait till the houses dip, because they've already said a lot of like the analysts have already said that there will never be another '08 housing market crash because when it happened, guess you can say the banks were dumb. They they're the ones that fucked it up. But as new regulations keep coming, it we will never see that type of crash, and that's what people want. So it's always one of those things of it's better to buy a house uh when the market is good. When the how depending on however people want to see it. 'Cause if the market is shit, like if it's going down, people are gonna want to buy houses. But from a realtor's perspective and and whatnot, a good market is when it's pretty good, like a pretty high one.
Yeah.
But they were saying how no matter what time, yeah, again, look at the market, but whenever the person's ready, because again, they might say, I want to wait till it's cheaper. It's like it's never gonna be the cheap that you want it.
No, it's never gonna drop that far down.
Like, cause get it now, cause I think they said the average amount of like time that people keep a house is like 7 years.
Yeah, your
And
average mortgage lifespan is 5 to 7 years between selling and refinancing.
And so right there, it's like you can always get a house, refinance, keep it for that long, and then because the house, because of appreciation, it, it might you might get an extra, hell, even like an extra 40K on that house, just because you waited to keep it, and you sell it, you pay off the mortgage, then the mortgage is fully paid. All of that is now yours. Like after like all the selling costs, everything, your net, that's yours. And because just you keeping it for a little bit longer, it worked. And
Yeah. Well, and the nice thing with houses is it's not like my hobby of working on cars and stuff. Houses actually, anything you put into them, it retains value. So, like one thing this house needs, I've been here for a week, and as you can tell, I've already got floral curtains that need gone. But like it's got shag carpet in the living room because this house was built in '75 and it's never been updated.
yeah,
So I've got flooring for the kitchen and living room, and that alone will add $3,000 to the value of this house. Not to mention, just off of its location alone, I got it from a power of attorney sale. I think I paid final number was 132,525, and I think my estimate that the bank did said this house was worth at least 145.
also you
And
got
that's
it like below.
well, yeah, like because and it kind of worked out well. As I didn't figure this out until we were well into the process, but this guy that's selling the house actually knows one of my uncles.
Oh, that made it easier.
Yeah, but another thing is like it wasn't talked about a lot when I was in the process of buying the house. But one thing that people don't ever think that would affect value is location. Like, I'm 2 blocks from a school. If you're looking to build a family, that's something people would pay extra for. You don't have to, like, you're right next to the school district. You're not having to commute your kids to work and work around them and stuff like that. Whereas, like, I wouldn't say centrally located, but I mean, I'm in, I'm 2 blocks, 2 blocks from the school. I'm a 2-minute drive from fucking the Gearing Taco John's and the Y. Like,
Yeah. Like,
it's one of those things that location is definitely important. And
yeah,
it
and
helps.
that's a lot of the factors that I also see and look at. Like the type of stuff you gotta, as once realtors, you gotta let people know. Like, because when buyers are coming in, you let them know. What's the price range, the location, and a bunch of other stuff. And yeah, I mean that's the type of stuff that I see. Because like how you're saying, because you build equity upon that house. Again, like doing renovations of either the kitchen or just really everything,
Yeah.
and plus holding that house for as long as you want to while refinancing it, and then selling that house because of all the equity you put into it, that bumps up the price. Keeping the house, yeah, there's some depreciation, but on top of that equity and the market, and because what they mainly do is a CMA, a comparable market analysis, which means any houses in that market, how much did they sell for, and let's try to price it around that. And so if you add equity upon yours and a house nearby with maybe some equity upon it sold for an extra 90K upon its original pricing point, maybe you can do that, or maybe a little bit more because of whatever. And you know, especially because of that age of the house and it never being renovated, you got yourself a good deal. You got yourself a good project that you can
Oh,
do, and keep a good fat wad of that money.
it'll be a good time. It definitely. It was. I lucked out really because outside of just the general updating that needs done,
Mm-hmm.
there were no major issues. I think the biggest thing that the home inspector had pointed out is he'd mentioned that I probably should update the breaker box because the company that installed it is out of business. They went out of business in like '83. So
Yeah.
if I need breakers and stuff, I probably should upgrade the breaker box. But I can, and that's $500. It's easy.
Hey, yeah.
It'll be all right.
Yeah, just one of those stuff. Just gotta keep doing it. Just gotta tell people. I mean, again, good thing you bought a house, because then you can tell me just from experience of how that went,
Yeah.
and yeah. I don't really have anything else to say. What about you?
Not that I can think of. I'm actually probably gonna kick my boots off and get ready for bed.
There you
I'm
go.
old as shit. I guess that's all I'm gonna enter with.
Oh no, you're good. You're not old. You're like what, 24?
23. Ow,
20.
Marco, that hurts my heart.
No, here's the thing. You gotta say older, so then when they give you a lower number, it makes them. Well, I guess you say it makes it feel good, because if I told you look like 20 and you say I'm 23, now you've make you feel like you're old as shit. But if you say, oh, you're 25, and you're like, oh no, actually I'm 23, makes you feel better.
Yeah. But well, actually, and then before I forget, if there's ever a time that you need a guest and you can't find one, I mean, you can always hit me up. We can just do a fun story time. I've done a lot of dumb shit since high school, so
Oh yeah, well, we can bring a lot of those in and talk about those.
it'd be a good time.
Wait, do you want to do the closing? Do you just want to say the goodbyes?
Now I'll let you handle that. You're the main man here, Marco. It's your podcast.
Oh, we're just kind of. I guess. Uh, well, thank you guys for listening. This episode will be out Sunday, 10 a.m. my time, Central Time, so 9 a.m. Mountain Time. I will try to tag you on it, just so it can pop up on your thing that
All
you're
right.
on it, so then you can share it. But yeah, I love you guys. I love you too, Caleb.
I love you, Marco.
Alrighty, and I guess again, if if I can't find anyone else for a Sunday, I'll hit you up and see about your stories.
Gotcha. I'll make sure I've got a few of them queued up. I've already got a couple I already want to tell you.
There you go. Save it for next time. Well, we'll save it for the next episode.
All right. Well, in that case, we'll talk to you later then, Marco.
All right. So, yep. You have a good one.
You too. Bye.
All right. Bye bye.